thank you for joining me today. Okay, the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control, tells us that 2 out of every 3 adults, or now 1 out of every 5 kids, are overweight or obese. That gives them one additional risk factor for heart disease, which is either high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It also puts them at high risk for a lot of other things, including bone and joint problems, sleep apnea, everything from gallstones to increased risk for cancers, a lot of different kinds of cancers. Women have different risks than men, and obesity also leads to type 2 diabetes, which used to be just for adults and now is for kids. I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and I've not only seen this in my practice, but I've seen it in my own family, as I've just spent the last 3 years shedding over a third of my own body weight because of my own health and longevity and issues with my own self. The Bible tells us that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and we're accountable to take care of it. So hopefully in the next little bit I can offer you some insights to help you determine if you and your family might be at serious risk for some of these health issues, and if you might need to reconsider some of your lifestyle choices. But before we get started, I'm going to pass out a couple of these. The green ones are called BMI tables, which stands for Body Mass Index tables. On the left is your height in inches. Remember, a foot is 12 inches, so like 60 is 5 foot. Go up or down from there. And your weight will tell you what your BMI is. It'll tell you above if you're normal, overweight, or obese. And these are some interesting pictures that you might get a kick out of. We're going to talk about that. They also tell you what your BMI, what category you fall into. Obesity has some devastating effects on your health. The first of which is high blood pressure. All that extra tissue has to be nourished. It has to be perfused. The blood has to go around, and that makes your heart have to work a lot harder. And it also, as I mentioned before, is a major cause for type 2 diabetes. The heart disease is another major cause. The hardening of the arteries, or the atherosclerosis, if you look at those pictures, that might be what some of your veins are looking like right now. And for the kids, hopefully not yet, but if you continue eating like that gentleman is and eating some of that stuff, they will. 10 times more often you'll see hardening of the arteries if you're obese than in someone that's not obese. You're also at higher risk for joint problems, for osteoarthritis, because imagine your knees and hips having to carry around all that weight. They're much more at risk of having problems. You also are at higher risk for sleep apnea and respiratory problems because of that. And cancer. Women have higher risk of different kinds of cancers, including breast, gallbladder, colon cancer. Men also have the higher risk of colon cancer and prostate cancers. There's also a lot of psychosocial effects that come along with being overweight. Not as significant as the health issues, but the psychosocial effects can have devastating effects for long term. Romantic relationships are also affected. They can actually affect your income. As I said, even things like gallstones can be affected by your obesity. That was something that I just learned myself the last couple days. I thought was very interesting. Well, if you're going to be making some changes in your lifestyle, the first step is to recognize, do I need to change? Am I doing anything wrong? Is your lifestyle one that you need to change your diet, your exercise? And now that you know that you're aware of what is caused, do you need to change your exercise plan? Do you need to change your diet? And are you a positive example for your family and for your kids? And the next step is make a plan. Do you need to change your diet? Do you need to change the things that you normally eat in your household? And if you do, it needs to be something that your family's going to eat. It needs to be something that they enjoy, something that you can get together and work on as a family, as a group, so that they're going to eat it. Because if you make something they're not going to want, they're not going to eat it. And as an exercise program, you need to just make sure that it's something you can be consistent at, whether it works for you to go to a gym, whether it works for you to do something consistent in your house. That's going to be up to you, but it needs to be a plan. The needs to be something that works for you and for your family. And finally, the next step in making the plan work is it has to be consistent. It has to be something that you can do, whether it's daily, a few times a week, or something consistently. It needs to be something that you can do without forgetting it, without leaving it behind. It needs to be consistent. You have to be able to follow up. And just remember that whether you're in the best health in the world, or you need some significant changes, or you just recognize that you need to make some small changes, this might be the first day to do that, recognizing that you need to do that. The Bible tells us that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and we're accountable to do that. We've only been given this one body, so we need to get busy and be sure that we're good stewards of it. Obesity can have devastating effects on our health, and I think we're all aware of some of the things that it can do. Make sure we don't end up eating like these young people here. And even though that now we're aware of some of these health concerns, we need to take action and make a plan. We have a calling from God to care for our bodies in a way that befits us as Christians, to care for what He's given us. I thank you for coming.